Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning, welcome to Fun Stamping here in Franklin on this beautiful July 10th day. It's absolutely gorgeous in my neck of the woods. I hope it's lovely where you are too. So if you are there, do pop on and say hello. I've got two fun cards to show you this morning. I hope you got my newsletter this week to see what we're doing. And I'm hoping no one's having a problem getting onto Facebook this morning. Some of my peeps were telling me they were having a little difficulty. I think on my newsletter, if you click on the PS at the very bottom, you can subscribe to my Facebook, and then that way you will be notified when I go live. Anyway, all right, it is 10 o'clock, so let us start. Good morning, good morning. This is off a little bit. I don't know why this is off a little bit. I'm going to leave it. I don't want to jinx anything. Anyway, good morning. All right, let me show you what we're doing today. Here we go. These are the cards that were on my newsletter this week. And I hope you got it. I absolutely love these cards. These cards, the Sunset Coast Suite, are almost exact copies from what Brenda Quintana. Brenda Quintana is a demonstrator here in Massachusetts, extremely talented. I follow her all the time, and I just love what she does. So I'm copying her cards this week for you. So those are those. And then here we are, week number 2, Christmas in July, and this is our second Christmas card. So I think what I'm going to do first is I think I'm going to start with the Sun Coast ones. Let's get these done. All right, first of all, let me show you the stamp set and the dies that go with it. The suite is absolutely gorgeous. This is these are the dies, the stamp set. It's got some really nice expressions wherever this note finds you. I hope it finds you happy. I think that's really cute. The adventure continues. That could be for a retirement person, or it could be a vacation, someone going on a vacation, an extended trip. You brighten my day just because. I love that. That's just a really happy message to send to someone. Wishing you a lifetime of joy, happy anniversary, happy retirement, congratulations, and some images of the ocean and the sun and the moon. It's just beautiful. This is just a beautiful set. So those are the stamps, and here are the dies. There are 12 of these dies in this suite. Look at how beautiful they are. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you using the. I think I'm going to use the lighthouse one. Yeah, the lighthouse. All right. But attached to that is this absolutely stunning Designer Series paper. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? How are you? I hope you're doing well. So here is the Scenic Coast Designer Series paper. It comes in packages of 48. There are 6 different designs. You get 8 of each one. So I'm going to show you what they are. They're absolutely beautiful. This is just stunning, stunning paper. The colors are magnificent. The image is magnificent. It's very reflective paper, meaning that when I look at it, I think of places that I've been. I think it's just beautiful paper. So here's one. And then the flip side is strawberry slush with a little bit of Daffodil Delight. Here's another one. And now this one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this has some absolutely metallic image to it, some shimmer. I'm glad, Jan. That's great news. Wonderful. This reminds me of an estuary on the Cape, just because I can see some of the seagrass out here, and it just looks like that to me. It's beautiful. And that's the back side. Gorgeous grape. And here's another sunset one. I absolutely love this. Gorgeous. And then we are back to this one. Look at how beautiful that is. And that's also got that shimmery ocean look to it on the bottom. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And with Azure Afternoon and Night of Navy colors on the back. And then the 2 that I used today already is this one. And then I use this one. So this one I used for this card right here. And actually, I used this half of it. And what I did was I turned it this way. Because first of all, these are 6 by 6. So to make these cards, you have a real bargain with this designer paper, because you can bisect it at 3 inches and then again at 3 inches. So you've got 4 panels for each one, which is fantastic. So for this one, I used this section right here right here, there, that section right there, as you can see here. Because to me, this looks like the sailboat is going toward the sunset with the ocean behind it. I just think it's absolutely exquisite. And then on this one, I used this paper. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. And I used this lower panel right here. So there's a lot of value to this 6x6 set of Designer Series paper. So anyway, let's get started. So in order to do this, I followed Brenda at almost 99% the same she did, because she's brilliant and I love her to death and I love her projects, and she's very, very, very good at explaining things. So one of the first things that she used was these banner dies. I don't know if you have these party banner dies. They are amazing. There are 20 of them in the set, all different shapes. Sizes rather, which I really, really like a lot. And so in order to do this, you need 3 of these dies. You need one that you're going to use for the base of the card. Now, this card stock is cut at the hot dog version. You're going to cut it at 4 1/16 of an inch by 11. 11 is the length. So you're cutting this at 4 1/16. And the reason that you need to do that is because in order to get this cut on the bottom, you just want this cut. You don't want to cut anything off the side. If you cut off the side, then you have to finagle the bagel and start trimming both sides like that. So if you cut the paper at 4 1/16, you are going to get the perfect cut on the bottom. So this is one of the larger dies. And as you can see, I've got it flip side of the up so that you can see the actual cutting edge. But when I put this piece of paper that is cut at 4 1/16, it nestles in very nicely, just like that. And that's exactly what you want. Let me get it in here. I'm playing with my lights again this morning because the sunlight comes in these front windows and it does give a terrible glare. So I decided to not use the lights this morning, and I think it's working out a little bit better. All right, so anyway, can you see that? It nestles right into this little ridge right here. Now, when you put it through your Stampin' Die Cut machine, all you need to do is put it so you get the bottom cut out. You don't have, as soon as you put this in, you run it through until you hear the click and then take it right back, because you don't want it to cut up here. If you cut up here, then you've got 2 pieces. So once you've done that, now you've got your cardstock just like this, which is exactly what you need. Okay, so there's that. And then you need 2 more pieces. Now what I've chosen to do is I've chosen to use, let's see, I've chosen to use Azure Afternoon, and of course the black. So the Azure Afternoon is going to be the next layer that gets popped onto this. So it's a little bit smaller than the base. And so you are going to take this die, and this die you actually are going to cut out. Let's see, I cut this out at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 3/4, and the length is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you cut that out, blah, blah, blah. So now you've got this one. And then the last one is the one that's going to be the black. And this is cut out in the smaller die like this, just like that. And so there you have your 3 pieces that you need to make this card. But then, let me get this out of the way and get this out of the way. All right, so then what you do is once you've got this cut, then you decide which of the designs that you want. Do you want the sailboat? Do you want the sunset? Do you want the lighthouse? So for this one, I decided to use the lighthouse. Whoops, I just dropped it over here. Whoo! All right, so what you then do is you take your die and you place it on your black and you run it through your Stampin' Cut machine, and then pop this out, and then pop this out, and voila, you have you have your base. So this might need a little bit of popping out. These like the lighthouse windows, you might have to you know what? I think I have to put my big light on. Oh, hold on, please. Yeah, I got to put this on. There. Okay. Oh, that's much better for me. All right, so there, I'm going to pop out a few of these little pieces that just didn't pop out on their own. Here's one more up here, and the lighthouse windows at the top. Boy, this reminds me of so many expeditions that we've had throughout my life with my kids, being a child myself, going to Cape Cod, going to beaches that had lighthouses. And I just absolutely love it. I love, love, love it. So how easy is that? There is your image. And let me get this out of the way. And let me get this out of the way, get all these little pieces out of the way. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to bring this in, and I am going to put this over here so I don't lose my dies, because gosh knows, that wouldn't be very good. All right, so then I pick a piece of Designer Series paper, and I'm going to use this one. Look at how pretty that's going to look, and this is going to go on the top. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, but before we do the assembly, first thing is I'm going to take my black layer, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to color my lighthouse because I want to have some additional pop. When the person who gets this opens up this card and sees this lighthouse, they're going to see the lighthouse first because it's got Wink of Stella on it. This Wink of Stella, let's see. I think I need more here. Hey, Linda, thank you for joining me this morning. There we go. Look at how easy this is. Me and my Winkies, you know. Yeah, this one's almost gone, but I still think I have enough right here. Yeah, look at how pretty that is. Okay, so there is that. There we go. Now, the next thing is I am going to get my piece of designer paper onto this. Look at, see, I don't know if you can see, you really can't, but in real life, the lighthouse really pops up against this beautiful paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. I am going to use my Tombow glue, and I am going to put some Tombow around the perimeter of this, like this, and just a little bit right there. And then I'm going to bring this in here, and I am going to put this on. Now, I'm sorry if you're going to see my head, but that's the way it goes sometimes. There we go, like this. And I'm going to press this down. Oh, there's a little tiny... It was one of the windows. All right, so there's that. Perfect. Oh, you know, I should have used my silicone pad. But that's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. I didn't get any on my grid paper, luckily. But look at how pretty that is, all right? So there's that. And then the next thing is I'm going to put some adhesive on this. I'm going to continue with my Tombow. I love all my adhesives, but Tombow is the favorite of the day today. And I'm going to put this on right here like this. Make sure I get it the right side. There is a right side and a wrong side to this paper. It's just the way it's been cut with the die. And you can see there's a little bit of a ridge, but look at how pretty that is. Tap, 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 tap. And then I'm going to put a little bit more here. Wow, so cute and beautiful. Art of Color Junk Journal Items Aesthetics. Well, thank you, lively_LE. I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining us this morning. Where are you from? What town are you from, or what state? All right, so there is this. And now I'm going to carefully bring this in, and I am going to put this on just like this. Look at that. Isn't this gorgeous? These cards are so pretty. Oh, this would be a lovely gift to give to someone. Say you've been invited to go to the Cape for the day. Somebody invited you to go down to their Cape house, and you've spent the day there. Maybe you've gone out for supper or something. You could leave this card on the kitchen table with a lovely little note thanking them for the lovely day that you had at the beach. So there you go. So there is this. Now, I'm not done yet because I want to add some of these gems that go with it. These are so pretty. These are sequins. These are called the Sunset Sparkle Sequins. Look at how pretty these are. So therefore, I am going to add some now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this color. This is really kind of a pretty color. Wait a minute, I want the other end. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put another one here. Let's see, right up here. And I think I'm going to put a medium-sized one right over, let's see. I think I'm going to put it right here. Yeah, right there. There. Isn't that pretty? This is just a lovely card. I absolutely love it. Now, I'm not going to put any wording on the outside. On this one I actually embossed this in white embossing powder, The Adventure Continues, because I know somebody who's, I'm going to send this to. This one, I did Happy Retirement. I stamped it on basic white, and then I put it on a piece of strawberry slush, and then popped it up with some dimensionals. But this one, I think I'm just going to leave blank like that because I think it's just lovely. And I don't know the person who's going to receive this yet, so therefore I'm just going to leave it like that. But I think it's a really beautiful card. So we'll be making these next week, Monday and Tuesday next week in my class. So if you're coming, please let me know. Linda, I know that I got your message and you want 4, and you'll be able to pick out which colors you want and which DSP. I'll have them all set up as I usually do, and you can just pick the ones that appeal to you most. So those are those, but aren't those pretty? Just lovely. And thank you once again, Brenda Quintana, for her incredible ability to just pique my curiosity and make me want to copy a number of the things that she does. So let's get to card number 2. Christmas in July, week number 2. Now this card, I took a lot of inspiration. I had already played with this because some of you know I was a presenter at an event in North Kingston, Rhode Island that we went to a couple of, like maybe a month and a half ago, whatever now. And I was given this entire suite to play with. So I had already known that I was going to make something like this, but a lot of people have come up with this design. So I said, you know what? I love it. Let's replicate it to a certain degree. I changed it up a little tiny bit. I'll show you. All right. So the base of the card is a piece of our white cardstock, you know, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 5.5 when it's folded. And I'm just going to crisp this up a little bit. Are those little people doing a dance? It looks at... I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So for this card, I am going to use Garden Green as my base. So I'm going to take my Garden Green. I am going to add some adhesive to this, and I'm going to put it on my base. Easy peasy. Christmas in July, week number 2. I can't even believe it. Whew. But it's still nice and hot outside. The temperature in my pool is lovely. I'll be going for a swim after this. Anyway, so then the next thing I did was to take a piece of cherry cobbler. This is 5 by 3 3/4. And this is the birch folder. And normally it would go like this to make like birch trees. But I kind of like it in this orientation. So I decided to do it that way. You can choose whatever you want. If you don't like that orientation, we can certainly make up some in the vertical orientation, but I decided to do it horizontally because it just tickled the cockles of my heart. So therefore, here we go. So this is going to go on like this, east and west and north and south, like so. Oh, hold on there. Hold, please. That was a little slip of my index finger on my right hand. Okay, there we go. All right, so then the next thing I did was, this paper is so beautiful. It has, on one side, it has all quilting images, and the other side, it's probably like plaid or polka dots or flowers or whatever. But these are the images that we have for this. Plaid and the trees. I'm going to use the trees, and I'm going to use this because I like it. Because this is pecan pie, and this matches the pecan pie of the base of the trees. And then I took a piece of Garden Green cardstock, cut it to 1 3. I think this is 1 3/4. Yes, 1 3/4 square. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mount these on this. Now on my design, my example, I used a very small perimeter here. These are, let's see. This is 1 5/8, but I think I wanted it to have a little bit more of a border, so I made these 1 3/4. So let's get these mounted onto this. Here's one. Look at this tree. This paper is so beautiful. It's just so pretty. It, you know, when I repeatedly say that the artists in our company are pretty amazing, that they have the brain power to come up with these beautiful designs. It makes me happy. I'm a paper person. Makes me, besides glitter, Wink of Stella, gems. There's another one, and here's the third one, like this. And this is going on like this. Perfect. Now, I'm going to talk about placement. I am going to do the same kind of design that I did with my sample, but I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to put one here and one here like that, and one right here like this. Yes. Now this to me is off a tiny little smidgeola. Maybe it's not. Nope, it's okay. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the upper left-hand one in, because that's going to give my eyeball a chance to make sure that my orientation is perfect here. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to make sure that I have a nice little perimeter right like that. All right, so there's that one. Now the next one I'm going to do is the bottom one, because then I'll know where the third one has to go, because I can make sure that the points go where they're supposed to be. And if you're a quilter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The points have to match exactly. It has to be perfect. Now for this, I'm going to use some dimensionals. And I'm going to put 4 of these on. This is a little bit overkill, but it's okay. I want it to stick. I want it to look nice. So I'm going to do this. And there we go. I'm going to bring this in and make sure that I get it the right way. And I'm going to put that right there. Oh, this is making me very, very happy. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so there is that. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I am going to color my trees. Because once again, I want some pop here. So when that person opens up this Christmas card, they see my Christmas trees have some sparkle on them, like this. You know what else I could do? We could put more sparkle on. I'm even going to do the trunk base, because I think it's pretty. There we go, here and here. I love coloring. I love coloring. This is the only time I'm not too particular about going in one direction with my coloring tool, because Wink of Stella can handle it. It's not going to pill the paper like if you color with a marker and you go back and forth. You really only want to go in one direction. And you know what? I think I'm just going to add some little sparkle to this, like this. How cute is that? Just a little bit hither and yon. And then, because I just had this image, let's take a little bit of why not? Why not? We've got Dazzling Diamonds. I got enough Dazzling Diamonds for a long time, folks. So I'm just going to sprinkle some Dazzling Diamonds on that. And then I'm going to tap the rest of it off. But I love the fact that there's a magnetic component to it. It doesn't need adhesive to stick. It just sticks. So there is that. Now, also, I'm going to use these 8-point gold metallic stars. In the quilting word, I think this is called an 8-point star, because it's got 8 points on it. And in order to put these on, I am going to use glue dots. Initially, on my sample, I used Tombow. However, it was too messy, and it oozed out. Let me just show you here. It oozed out around the intersection between these points, and I had to use my little baby wipe to daub it off quickly, because, you know, Tombow is a nice adhesive. It's a wonderful adhesive, but if it oozes out, you got to get it off right away, because it dries tacky. So I didn't want that. So I said, you know what? Let's try glue dots. So let's try glue dots. I think 2 is going to be fine on each one. So here's 2 on that one, and 2 on this one. I do love glue dot. I love all our adhesives. I do. You know what? I probably could put 4 on each one. Why not? Probably this is overkill, but at least it's not going to, the adhesive isn't going to ooze through and cause a little mess. But there are no mistakes in Stampin' Up. Remember, none. None, none, none. We always find a way to take that little persnickety issue and correct it. All right, so I'm going to take these off. Well, come on. There we go. Normally, they just pop right off with my little take your pick tool. Well, there we go. There's one. Come on. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to take this with my fingers, and I'm going to place it right up here like this. I think that looks pretty. There we go. There's one. And I'm going to go get these off. There. Come on, little glue dot paper. They're sleeping. They're not awake yet. Anyway, I could have done, probably 2 would have been fine. But, all right, so here's this one. Now I'm going to do it the same orientation. The points are kind of off to the east and west, northeast, northeast, northwest. There's that one. And the last one, let's get the last one on. And on this card, I think that I'm probably not going to put a message on the outside because there is a lot going on. And it reminds me, actually, this reminds me of a quilt rectangle. It could be a quilt square if I wanted. All right, so this one's going to go on like this. And I'm going to try to get this little center at the center of that and the center of that, which that looks good to me, just like that. I'm going to press that down and voila. What do we think? There we go. I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. So let me bring in the first one. Here's the first one. And on the first one, I did do, initially I thought I was going to put this message on the outside, but when I put it on, it was just too busy. There was no real placement for it. It did not have any eye appeal to me. So I put it on the inside like that. So that works well for this card. And for this one, I'll probably do something the same. I may not, actually, you know what? Let me see. I think I have. Yeah, I do. Let me take this. I have Merry Christmas. Let's do this one in Cherry Cobbler because the ink is Cherry Cobbler. So let's take this, and let's take this, and let's take this, and my Cherry Cobbler ink. And this stamp comes from this bundle, which is the Stitch Stockings bundle. This is the one that I presented in North Kingston. This is a great, great stamp set for the holidays, and it's got all of these beautiful dies. This is the die that I use to cut out all of these little 8-point stars. But there are so many different dies in here. Look at the holly, a row of trees, which is great. 2 different size stockings, a Christmas tree, a package. It's beautiful. And it all matches with that designer paper too. So let me just take this and let me get this on here even like this. And I'm going to bring this Merry Christmas to you and yours. Press that down. Voila! Done deal. Perfect. There we go. So these are the cards that we're doing for next week. These and these. So, my friends, let me take this out of the way. Let me put these here, 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 and here. There we go. So, that is it. Now, announcements. Today is the first day that you can purchase the new hot foil system through Stampin' Up. We will be using that very soon. I'm going to show you how to use it. It's amazing. I'm really excited about the opportunities that present ourselves with this new system that Stampin' Up has. It's beautiful. More of that to come, but it is available starting today. And I know I can't even believe that I forgot to post the information about my Silly Old Bear class, which I have enough supplies now. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Go right over to my computer and get information about that. Now, the other thing is, don't forget about our Kit Class Club on Wednesdays, the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month at 9:30 in the morning. Here at my home, we're doing kits. So the one we're doing next week is the Road to Christmas, which I don't have the Road to Christmas. Where are they? Hold, please, for a moment. Oh, yeah, here they are. I see them. Don't move. I have to move. You stay where you are. Well, I think I see them. Where the heck are they? I've got the envelope. I'm glad you're not actually seeing this mess over here. Anyway, this is the envelope. I don't know where the cards are. I thought, anyway, this is the envelope. That's the flap, and this is the outside. But the Road to Christmas, if you go to the StampinUp.com, it's really cute. It's Christmas. It's a red Christmas truck, a pickup truck with a golden retriever and a Christmas tree, and it's a no stamping kit. Easy, easy peasy. So that's what we're doing this coming Wednesday. And I will have more information about the stamps, the kits for August coming in another week. So that is it for today, my friends. I hope that I see you next week on my Friday morning stamping program, and I hope that a number of you will be coming to class this week. Please let me know what you'd like, and don't forget about the kit class and also about the hot foiling system. So we will be working with that very shortly. And I promise I'm going right over to the computer to get information about the silly old bear. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great weekend. It's going to be lovely weather here. We have a family party tomorrow, so that's going to be kind of fun. So I wish you well. I wish you a safe and happy week. And we'll see you next Friday at 10 o'clock here.